Righto, how are we? Just wait for a few of you lovely viewers to pop on, and we're going to be talking about today's activities out there in the real world. You know, the real world. Yeah, we all live in the real world. There's been some activities going on today, people. Let me tell you. There's been someone shot dead. There's all sorts going on in England right now. Let me tell you. And if I'm brutally honest, it's a bit of a scary place. It's a bit of a scary place. It's not quite right. Anyway, get expected to get ready for the winds. The winds are coming. I'm trying to migrate over to YouTube. It feels a bit weird because I've been Facebook for many years, and I'm used to the interactions as well there with the comments. So if you want to comment, feel free to drop the comments in the box. So, southeast of England and across England, we're expected to get some really high winds and some bad weather later this week. So, batten down the hatches. It's been a really sad thing happening today, people. I'm just trying to find it here. No, just bear with me. It's about someone's been murdered today in broad daylight in a high street, been shot dead. And let's bring this up here. I'm just charging it up. Hello, viewers. Nice to see you. It's going to take a little bit of time to build this platform up, but I'm going to get there. Rome weren't built in a day. Hello, Lynn. Nice to see you, darling. Thanks for the wave. Look, I'm not Channel 4. I'm not the BBC. I don't profess to be. I'm just someone that's a little bit bothered about all what's going on. It's quite funny, actually. The police, I've just seen this video of the police up north arresting these two lads, mate. I'm telling you, if you watch the video, it's like watching the old jackboots. You remember the old jackboots in Nazi Germany? My good God. It's scary. We got scary public servants, peeps. They're really scary. They really are. Mark and Jackie watching. Hello, guys. Nice to see you. I'm going to try and find you this this video of these. Why is it whenever you try and find, when you don't want to find something, it's right under your nose? Hello, Jacqueline Jones. But then when you want to find it, like I want to talk to you about it on here, you can't find it, can you? But there you go. I will find it. I will. Just bear with me. Oh, here we go. This is class. Let's have a look. This is Lancaster Live. So if you're up and around Lancaster, be careful. Your public servants have turned into some rather nasty beards. I don't think they're from this planet. I think they're coming in from, like, they're wardrobe monsters. These people certainly ain't landing from my planet. Police conduct under review after video of arrest in Accrington. I think that could be near Accrington Stanley. You remember that football team years ago? Accrington Stanley. I think it's from up there. But let me tell you, I'm just going to give you a little flash view of this. They're going crazy, man. Oh, you can't see it properly, can you? Yeah. Oh, no, mind the light. Don't go to the light, Dave. Don't go to the light. Oh, we are. So, I wish I had this screen thing. Someone's going to have to tell me how to use this properly. Yeah, so Lancashire Police. Police have issued a response after a video of an arrest was shared widely online. Lancaster Constabulary. I wonder who trains these people. Do you reckon they're going to, like, police academy? Do you reckon they got the guy there go and everyone ducks down? You geezers used to go, do you remember him at a police academy videos? Do you remember Tackleberry? Ooh, dear. The man in the video, I'll bet he shit himself. Excuse my French. Adil Ashraf has been charged with aggravated vehicle taking and dangerous driving. The arrest happened at 2 p.m. on January 8 at Lonsdale Street in Accrington. Police have used a stinger. They used a stinger to stop the stolen vehicle, and this is when the footage was taken. These old Bill, man, they've got attack dogs. They got the dogs out. They've got the weapons out, mate. I'm saying when I was a kid, I used to lay on my couch and I just used to watch lots of war films. It was always a bit of a thing for me, you know, the old Germans and all that. And I used to be horrid by the hand hock. Put your hands up. It used to bother me eventually. Hello, Ian. Nice to see you. It used to bother me. And I'm living it. It's in my country. The German Wehrmacht, they're here. Let me tell you. They're absolutely here. So yeah, a bit dangerous out there. What do we make of Hollywood's escapades the other night with Ricky Gervais? I got mixed views on Ricky Gervais and what happened out there. Just as much as it was good that he brought it all to the forefront about Harvey Weinstein and all this and that, but was it put out there to try and normalise it? I don't know. I'm not too sure. I guess we'll find out in time. We will. But there's lots of things going on in this country at the moment, peeps. And look, what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to bury your heads in the sand so that one day it affects you. That we all turn our back like, so it is ratings. Oh, yeah, ain't happening to me. Happening to me. We got that mentality, haven't we? We got that mentality. Oh, it's all right. It ain't happening to me. But what happens one day if it is? What happens one day when it comes and it's your doorstep? Who's going to protect you? Who's going to make sure that things don't happen like that? And that's the bit I think people really need to be sort of focused on and paying attention to is, yeah, all right, it might not be affecting you. It might not be on your doorstep. But one day you could be out there walking down the road, mind your own business, and Bob's your uncle. Before you know it, and that's how this thing happens. It happens so quickly. It just bomb, and it escalates. I don't like it. Bailiffs and police raiding the wrong home. Now, this is disgusting. These bailiffs, and I tarnish all these bailiff companies now with the same stick as I tarnish the old bill. Because let's face it, our public servants
2018.
should be servants. They should not be making us have it, and they are making us have it all the time. And I don't like it. And they're coming into our homes. They're going around our possessions and stuff. And I just don't know where this all ends. Please can we agree that scanding off the taxpayer is not the big story? That's from Rebecca Butler. I don't know what she's chatting on about there. Bless her. She's a nice, pretty lady. What other stories have we got going on here? Let's have a quick butch. The thing with social media is it's like where you get your everything. Like I said the other week, you got like, do you remember that film Good Morning Vietnam? And Robin Williams, who sadly passed away a few years ago, very great and fantastic actor. He got fed up in that film of having to tell all the sensitized stuff as it was sensitized. And what got it one day was he was in a cafe that got blown up. He was in there a couple of minutes before and this thing got blown up. And he knew what had gone on because he'd gone there and seen the devastation in Hanoi or wherever it was. And then when it come through on the ticker tape, he had to tell the story on the radio that wasn't the facts. It wasn't actually how it happened. And he got the ump and he just went for it. He just ripped it off the ticker tape and he just read it straight out without all this censorship. And that is pretty much how we are in this country. Well, that's exactly how we are in this country. All of our mainstream media and newspapers is sensitized. It is not the God's honest truth. And I hope that this social media platform enables us, the people of this country, to get as it happens and we get it out there. We get the absolute truth. We're not interested in bending things and not telling the truth. And I think Facebook and Twitter and all these other platforms are a great media for getting true stories out and actually how they're happening right in the minute. And I think that has gone against the whole of the mainstream media's how they like to see things. You know, they can't control the news anymore, and that's a fantastic thing. And if you finish work and you come out of work and you come home, you'll see people on the buses, the trains, they're all on their mobiles, they're all on their tablets, they're all getting their information, not from the mainstream. So I actually think that mainstream has lost its grip, absolutely lost its grip on the news. And that's fantastic that you're getting it raw and you're getting it straight. Jimmy Robertson's just put up a post on Facebook. He said, I've just called Carol Woods. If you don't know about Carol Woods is a whistleblower. She has been sectioned because she was a social worker, and probably still is, I guess, classed as a social worker, that was going to go and blow the lid on what's going on in social services and the child abuse, etc. So rather than her be able to get her story out, they've actually sectioned her to keep her quiet. And that's what happens. It says here that there's a demonstration at Tuesday, the 21st January, 12 noon at the Orchard, Pathfinders Drive, Pathfinders, Lancashire, LA1 4JJ. So if you fancy going down and supporting Carol Woods on that demonstration, feel free to do so. And trust me, your support is going to be greatly appreciated. The guy I did a job this morning with someone locally, and he said to me, he said, look, he said, they're building all these houses around here. He said, no one, he said, there's all these signs up objecting. He said, well, I wrote a letter to the council. I went, oh, you devil. He said, what do you mean? I said, did you put pen to paper? He went, yeah. I said, do you think it works? He went, well, no, it doesn't. He said, but what will make public servants listen? I said, so if in your area you've got 8,000 people and everyone's really got the ump and they really mean that they've got the ump, and you can get 2,000 of them, 8,000 together, you go down the council building and you go in there and you make them listen, because no one's going to mess with a group of 2,000 people all singing off the same. He went, do you know what, Dave? He said, you're right. That's how you make public servants listen. You peacefully go and impress your will as a community direct on them, and you let them see the presence. You let them see that there's two. They're going to go, ooh. Then they're going to start paying attention. I've seen it before, people. I have seen massive groups of people surround an individual, whether in uniform or whatever, and say, oh, don't do that. That's out of order. And they fall into line. And they question what they're doing. And that's fantastic, and it needs to happen more. But protesting, does it work? I don't think it does. I think we need to change that gig. Does writing a letter to your council and your police, does it work? To the courts, does it work? No, it doesn't, because they're not interested. They just treat you like that and they throw it in the bin. We got to change that. We can't have that. We can't have our public servants that swore to protect us not listening to us and not doing what we as a people say, because they've become the master race. You see, they've absolutely become the master race. Now, what is interesting is that I've seen on Facebook very recently that the police forces, or the police farces, they're advertising on here for local recruits, and the comments are quite like, oh, I wouldn't join you. So people are not best pleased with their public sector at the moment, especially in that path. They're happy with certain other parts like the fire brigade and the NHS, all in part. People trust them. But we certainly do not trust our police force no more. And that's hard for me to say, because I absolutely love my country. But I certainly don't like what goes on right now. So today, I'm just trying to find the story. There's been a kid shot dead in a high street somewhere in a town. Someone just walked up to him and killed him point blank. Boom, dead. And what's the system actually doing anything about it? Nothing. Nothing whatsoever. It's doing absolutely nothing. It couldn't care. They don't care. People in the councils don't care about you. People in the police don't care about you. They don't care. And it's about time that we all started to realise that. Good evening, Tracy Pearson. Nice to see you. Patsy Ballantyne. Hello, sweetheart. Nice to see you. Jacqueline Jones is in the room. Sue McCollum. Hello. I'm trying to bring it all over here. I'm trying to really get this YouTube thing going, because I think we have a far more reaching impact through YouTube. I mean, my good friend Daddy Dragon Graham started his YouTube platform up about 18 months ago, and he regularly has 500, 600 people tuning in and listening to him. And I've seen it go up to the thousands. I've seen him have thousands of people listening, and that is a good thing. I only come here to try and say to people, look, pay attention to what's going on. I'm not here for fame, for fortune, any of that. That is not my objective. I am not here for that. I am here just to let everyone know things ain't quite right and could be better and should be better. For sure they should be. Where's this story about this kid that's been killed today? It is just unbelievable. It is just unbelievable. My friend actually earlier, Frank, he turned around and said, you know, all these prisons in this country, they are the ships on dry land. Ships on dry land now, because our courts, Kevin Blackburn's put up a post, he says it's all extortion from the sovereign people, because we're the sovereigns, right? Now it's a private corporation, just for profit global corporate company. That's all England is now. No sovereign people should not step foot in their kangaroo courts. It's all corrupt and needs to be taken down in mass remedy. Sea pirates bought their fraudulent for-profit courts onto dry land. They want your money, incarcerate your worthless body. That's all these fraudsters want. We fell for this system because we were not told. Well, not anymore. That's what Frankie says. Meghan Markle, what do you think's going on with the Meghan Markle debacle? Do you think that Prince Harry, by the way, I think Prince Harry is, son, Mark Hewitt. I don't think, he don't look like Charlie. His ears ain't big enough. His ears ain't out here. And when you got a picture of James Hewitt, Captain James Hewitt, you know, played polo. When you put a picture of him alongside Harry, it's like two peas in a pod, man. Two peas in a pod. Now, the other one on the other hand, William, I think he is Charles's boy. But Harry, I'd say I'd want him on the Jeremy Kyle show, people. Let me tell you, I'd want him on there and say, yeah, have one of these DNA tests. That could be on the cards. But what's going on within the royal family right now? For me, I've never really been much for the royals. I've always just looked at them as men and women trapped in a situation that they're benefiting from, by the way. And I'd like to see any of you out there say to your guy you're working for tomorrow, by the way, I ain't coming into work no more, but I'm keeping all the trappings that go with it. See how long you get on. See how long you last. See how you get on with that one. It's not going to happen. So, you know, there is certain factions and rifts and splits going on in the royal family right now. And we've known this has been coming for a long time, people. You've only got to look at the fact that there's loads of pictures of Jimmy Savile with Prince Charles. Jimmy Savile was right-hand man, a Charlie boy for a long time. They used to go shooting together and do all this stuff up Scotland, and Charles and, you know, him shared whatever. I think it's disgusting. We've, you know, I don't know where we're going. I don't know where we're going to end up, but I think we need to just to be paying attention to what's going on, because the noose is on. We're being strangled now as a people. We are being strangled by a corporate government, and it's got to stop. Trust me, I think it absolutely has to stop, because I just don't know where it's all going to end. It was never like this years ago. We were pretty decent people many, many years ago. You know, there was lots of laughter, lots of fun. Where's it all gone so badly wrong? You know, we're having truth tellers, whistleblowers, Carol Woods, being silenced by sectioning, and I think it's really, 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 really sad that we have that situation. Truthfully, I do. We shouldn't be. It shouldn't be the case. We should not be going down this road that we're going down. Who we got in the room? We've got Tracy Pearson. Trace, I'm not know if you're still there. It says you are, sweetheart. I hope you're all right and that life's treating you well. And batten down the hatches, people, because we're in for a little bit of weathering for the next few days. I reckon it's going to be proper windy and gusty, but I don't mind that because I've got my little wind turbine up on my office and it's blowing like a hoolie. So we're happy with that. My friend Tracy Blackwell the other day, I'll tell you a story about Tracy. Many of you know Tracy. For those that don't, Tracy was, she's a woman and, well, she would be, wouldn't she, being called Tracy? But I don't know if there's any guys out there called Tracy. Is there any men out there that call themselves Tracy? I'm not too sure. But Tracy was thrown into a hell because her son, Josh, with his two mates, Harry and George, were killed by an idiot in a van a couple of Januaries ago. They just finished work on a Friday night. I think it was a Friday. And they were walking into town. They got nice shirts on and, you know, nice bit of art shade, maybe going out to talk to the ladies. You know what it's like. Next thing, some idiot in a van has mounted a path, killed all three of them. And that's what's thrusted Tracy into the limelight. And she's an amazing woman. But she's literally doing this because she's been thrown into the limelight. And it's sad. It's sad. It's just so sad that it shouldn't have happened in the first place. That sort of thing shouldn't be happening. It should not be happening. Trace says, I'm good, thank you. No, I'm glad to hear that, Trace. Patsy says, sounds proper windy in South East London. I'm not in South East London. I'm in the Kent countryside. I'm about 5 miles from Darling Buds of May country. Remember the Darling Buds of May? When Pa Larkin and Ma Larkin had all the kids out in the country and they lived a good, healthy life. That's where I am. But I did grow up on Council Estate in London and never, ever forgot my roots, to be fair. And we're building up now to the 31st of January when this can that the government's been kicking down the road for the last 3 years. Is it 3? Will it be 4 years in June? It'd be 4 years in June with this Brexit debacle, isn't it? Right. So we've been doing a bit of investigation because Boris Johnson and all their cohorts, and I want you to check this out. Don't just take my word for it. I want you to go and research it for yourself. All right. I took a picture of it yesterday, and I'm going to show you it. This is what tied England into the European Union, right? This goes back to 1972. I want you to see this. All right. Oh, God, I need to sort this out. Why are you shining like that? No, don't shine. Hang on, let's have a look over here. It's the European Communities Act of 1972. You can't see it, can you? Because that bloody screen's too bright. Let's have a look back here. No. So here, that, right? Have a good look at it. It's the European Communities Act of 1972. Now, I screenshotted this yesterday. Now, for England to be leaving, well, the UK. We know the UK is a corporation, right? We know the UK is a corporation. It's a company. The UK is a company. Where do you live? In the UK? No, I live in England. I live in the landmass. I don't live in the UK. The UK is a company. And this is all the deep knowledge that we're starting to come into, people. And the government don't like it. They don't like the fact that we know how they operate. They never thought we would figure it out. They always said, nah, they're too stupid. Them Brits, them English, they're too stupid. Jack Straw got in the back of Chunky Mark, the artist taxi driver. Got back in the back of his car years ago. And Chunky Mark's driving him down the road. And he went, all right, Jack, yeah, I know your brother and all that. Because his brother was in politics as well, I think, Jack Straw's brother. And Mark said to him about the English. And Jack Straw at the time said to him, the English ain't worth saving. That's what he said. He said, the English ain't worth saving. So, European Communities Act of 1972 is up to date with all changes known to be in force on and before January the 12th, 2020. These are changes that might be brought into force at a future date. All right. Also, whenever you're signing your checks or you're putting the date down, always make sure that you don't just put 20. Don't put the first of the first 20 because someone can make that 2000 and whatever. Do you know what I mean? 2021, 2022. So be careful. Whenever you're putting the date down, 2020, make sure double vision, clarity. That's what's coming this year. So there are changes that may be brought into force at a future date. So the European Communities Act of 1972, which tied this country into Brussels and the European Union, is still not been removed and struck off. And I guarantee you, on the 31st of January, there's going to be a gazillion people in London. Lord knows I've been to a few of these dudes. So I'm passionate about my country. I love my country and I love the people. I think you're all very, very important. Everyone's going to be there waving their, oh yeah, we've left the European Union. But trust me, if that ain't ripped up and thrown away and thrown in the history books, you ain't left the European Union, because it will still have a stronghold in law and legislation. Well, in legislation, not law. We know legislation is just a rule of society. That's all it is. It's a legislative rule of society. It's not law, because if it was law, it would be called law. It's not. It's legislation. Lauren Pay said, the last time in the forest when I was there were gales, a tree snapped and took 3 more trees down with it on the path I walk every night. Ooh, you be careful, cousin. Nice, mate. Thank you for your lovely messages over the last few days. And all, Lauren, you've been a really nice geezer. And you are a blessed soul and you wear it on your sleeve, mate. And I appreciate you for that. So, yeah, everyone's going to be up. No, yeah, we're at the European Union. Oh, yeah, we're no, you ain't. No, you ain't. You ain't, because politicians have made a career and made a very substantial sum of money out of lying to you all. They just lie to you. Politicians get their authority from this book. I'm only going to mention it once tonight. Romans chapter 13. If you want to go and find out how government have a stronger hold over you and kick your back doors in every day, go and read Romans 13 and you'll clearly see how this government thinks it has authority to tell us, the sovereign people of this country, what to do. And we are all in. Look at that little scruffy monkey over there. Look at it. For all intents and purposes, we are a bunch of slaves. We are a nation of slaves. Under this legislative rule of society, which is not law, but because we sign contracts, that's where all our problems come. And people always talk to me about, oh, Dave, we've got the Magna Carta, we've got the common law, we've got the Queen's Constitution, we've got all that. Yes. That is absolutely true. Very true. But a contract is stronger and has more weight than any of that. So when you have a driving offence, you sign the driver license, you sign the logbook, you give them consent. All that other stuff goes out the window. And that's why the judge says, don't bring that stuff into my courtroom, because you're there under contract, what you've signed for. That's all you're there for. But it's waking up to all this, people. They never ever thought that we'd work this out. They honestly, people in government and that, they thought, oh no, they're waking up. Boris Johnson, when he very first addressed the country, when he became Prime Minister, he turned around and told everyone 6 minutes in that we are a nation at rule of law and habeas corpus. He told you that 6 minutes in, that's what we're at. But contracts that we sign are stronger than the common law, the natural law. They're stronger because you signed on the dotted line and says, yes, I agree to your terms and conditions. And that is how legislation rolls. Police beat up man filming them in Leeds. West Yorkshire Police and in TV. Oh, my God. Scum of the earth, my mate Lindsay says. Social services, bailiff, council, MP need shooting. This is all out there in the public domain. She's calling for them all to be shot. Can't say as I blame her. Not as I'm advocating any of that. While the rain's coming down like it's trying to get in my door, says Sammy nearly. I don't know where she is, but apparently it's wherever you are in the country or around the world. Let me know what the weather's doing. What are you doing? Have you got suntan weather going on up there where you are? Because we certainly ain't down here. The wind is now starting to really blow a bit of a hoolie now. But we're plundered in this country. We are plundered of our rights, of our property, and we got to stop all that stuff. We have got to stop all of that. We really have. And we've got to come back into the truth. People, we have. It's the time is now. We can't have this. I've just seen a lady with a daughter, and social services are snatching that kid out of her arms, and there's coppers with machine guns there. And I'm like, am I in Berlin? Am I in Frankfurt? Surely this can't be happening in England. Surely we can't have fallen. Have we fallen? Public servants are there to serve. They're not there to rape us. And they're certainly not there to nick our kids. That's how they're operating. Biff shout out, not shout out, it's quite sad. My friend Charlie Brown, as we all know, Chuck, he's a hell of a dude, Scottish guy. He's big. I mean, when I met him in London, I'm like looking. He's up there. I mean, up there. I think if he's coming in there, he'd probably touch that ceiling. He is proper tall. He's well, my little princess has gone to sleep. You were the star in my life that shines so bright. I will look after your mummy, auntie, and nanny for you. Just know I will carry you in my heart forever. 2 days old, man. Work that one out. Child comes into the world for 2 days and tragically passes away. My word, people, my word. Well, after the Queen, the UK should become a republic, says James Lee. Spend £40 million a year on the monarchy, and it only exists for cultural heritage and tourism in his ideology. In reality, it's a mega rich scrounger from the poor. Plus, with the scandals associated with the British royals, such a recent Prince Andrew and also Diana, should we really be facilitating such crime and corruption? I agree with him. I'm sorry if I cause offence here, but once the Queen goes to a better place, the monarchy should be disbanded. Wouldn't it be more democratic to appoint an elected head of state? Personally, I don't think so. I don't think so, because I think the state is responsible for all of our problems. We should never have statism. We're not a country that has that. We were never a country built on statism. Never. It's got to go, people, as far as I'm concerned. And I mean, it has to go. I can't stand statism. It's wicked. Because there's no feelings involved. It's immoral. Yeah, Tracy. Yeah, my thoughts go out to Chuck, man. That's got to be it. Can you imagine your child comes into the world and you've got older, and then 2 days later he's, whoo, man. That's tough, isn't it? That is really, Really, really tough. Apparently today it's the Duchess of Cambridge's 38th birthday. Bless her. Princess Kate, I think, isn't it? The Duchess of whatever she is, Duchess of Cambridge, and her husband. Yes. Never done a day's work in their life, have they? Never done a day's work in their life. They wouldn't, mate. They wouldn't be able to whack it out in the real world. Trust me. They would not be able to whack it in the real world. Julian Assange, founder of WikiLeaks, is going to court soon to have his case heard. Julian Assange should never, ever be locked up for telling the truth. Mind you, who was it that said, I think it was George Orwell said, telling the truth in despotic times is a dangerous thing to do. And it is dangerous. Our police look more like Nazi Gestapos than they do decent, upstanding men and women of a local community, making sure no harm comes here. And they scare me very much, I have to say. I've got no need to call them or want to call them because they're scary people, mate. Trust me. And it's sad. It is absolutely sad that we live in this. So Kevin Blackburn's calling for the 31st of January 2020. Bring your toilet paper and your EU flags. Apparently they're going to be all burning them in London. Well, burning flags is one thing. But you've got to get that legislation out of the way. Lauren says, hopefully we can get lightning so I can film it from the forest tonight. Wow. Man, sounds like you're having a right old gig there. Is that where you are? I don't want to give you HQ away. GCHQ. I don't want to tell GCHQ where you are, bruv, but you keep your nose to the ground and have a good time. So, you country bumpkin, says Patsy Ballantyne. Yes, I am. I'm here trying to build this platform. I'm here bringing a message to this country, to the people and around the world that basically our servants ain't our servants no more. They're our masters. And we've got to be careful because there's a lot of things happening and it's too often and it's wicked and we can't carry on like that. We've just seen the Australian fires. There's someone, Gwyneth Montenegro says here in Australia, as the country burns, at the last count, there was around 200 people under investigation for arson. 200. Disgusting. Got to go.